One Friday Fights 87 took place from the legendary Lupini Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand yesterday at 2:30 p.m. South African time. We're recapping another fantastic night of Friday Night Fights, this time on Fighting with Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fighting with Friends, the undisputed African fighting podcast champion of the world. Speaking of champions, ladies and gentlemen, I have with me today the reigning, defending, undisputed vegan champion of the world. That is, of course, another guy.
Yo, AD, I love that. I love it. You know what? You can bring me back into that awkward silence. You can bring me back into that awkward silence.
Welcome back,
I can do
PG.
some stuff for the guys during that time.
Oh, wait. Also with us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we have the winner of the CPS Report Contender Series, now professional record 10-0. Fighting for the CPS BMF title in his next bout, ladies and gentlemen, it's Nazim Al Nino, aka Babu.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, Babu?
I was laughing in the back. I was like, yo, the pause is there,
Pure cinema, bro. Pure cinema is what we tried to bring you here on Fighting with Friends, gentlemen. And speaking of pure cinema, we have a fantastic card that we need to get into. It is, of course, One Friday Fights 87. So we're going to start at the top of the card, the main event where we saw a strawweight Muay Thai bout, Kongchai eventually defeating Chokpreecha by unanimous decision. And here we saw two men staying in the pocket, walking through absolute fire like the warriors that they are. So BG, how impressed were you with this one, bro?
I was super impressed, bro. The fight went out exactly the way I expected. If anything, I thought maybe there would be a knockout because of the heat that both guys were throwing, but kudos to them to be able to withstand it and go through all that blows because they were fighting predominantly in the clinch work and the fight stayed there for most of the time. And normally you see in that position guys throwing heavy elbows and knees, and I was quite surprised to see both of them standing at the end of the fight. It was competitive from the first round. It was so razor close. You could have given it to anyone really, and I thought it was amazing performance from both gentlemen. I just thought maybe the youth of Kongchai is what got him through the fight because he was electric. He didn't really slow down, and I think he was pushing the pace. Granted, he got rocked really badly at the end of that first round, but I mean, for the 90% of that first round, he was winning the fight. Very, very fast leg kicks. Left kicks, switch left kicks to the body, stepping knees, then the elbows and left straights. It was throwing. Look, granted, Chokpreecha threw back the same kind of weapons and also with a lot of heat. But I think the conditioning from both fighters is what kept them standing. And I think Kongchai just pushed the pace a little bit more, but just ever so slightly more in round 2 and 3. But I thought that was one of the most explosive clinch fighting I've seen in the One Championship for quite some time, actually. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. What a fucking fight.
Fair play, BG. Babu, as a One Championship fan, bro, how does this solidify you into the fan base? I mean, it was an absolute firecracker. So yeah, tell us what you saw here, bro.
I think from like if you've never or if you're like a novice fighting fan and like you think of what MMA is or you think of what kickboxing is or any combat sport, like your idea of it, I think that fight is like the idea that you have. Like just two men going to absolute war and neither man taking a step back. And like for you to like not able for you not to be able to comprehend like how either fighter is going down is like, oh, those people are both different. They like we are not, like the Bible verse is, oh, we all built the same. Now we're not built the same. See, those two men are like, oh wait, they got that vibranium syndrome. That's not normal because like BG was saying, I think the not only the pace of the fight, but like just the power that was being thrown in each strike, and for neither man to like for neither man to go down and for both fighters to be standing at the end of the fight. It's like, bro, like just from a conditioning standpoint, like it's one of the best things that you will see. And any fighting fan, I would say, like watch that fight because
Yeah.
like it will keep you on the edge of your seat for the entirety of it. And yo, what a fight! I was on the other side of the fence. I was
Yeah.
thinking
Chokpreecha.
Chokpreecha. I thought he won the fight just because of the early knockdown in round one. I thought like round two and three were very close, and I think like if Kongchai he got the decision, and I don't feel like it was a robbery because that second and third was so close, and you could have edged both rounds to him, and because it was very hard to like
Yeah.
split who won that fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree, Babu. I mean, for me, bro, honestly, I was watching the fights and then I just after the fight was done and they were announcing the decision, I didn't even stick around to like see who won it, bro. I was just like, it could go either way, brother. Either man could win this fight, and I'd be like, nah, just because it was
Yeah.
such a good fight, man. Like you said, it was pace, power, durability, all on display, and of course, fantastic technique. So
Yeah.
yeah, just a fantastic fight to watch here, boys. So yeah, very happy that I tuned in this morning to check it out.
One more thing,
But
AJ,
yeah,
on my side, sorry, bro. And I like that you use that picture that you put onto the screen of that kick to the body, which is Kongchai's left switch kick. Kongchai, excuse me, and I think that was what was the tipping point towards him in that fight because Chokpreecha never really threw kicks that was making Kongchai had to rethink about his defensive setups or even his forward setups. He was able to really walk forward more often, even though Chokpreecha was super competitive when they did come close into their car crash position. But Kongchai was the one that was initiating the car crash. He wasn't the one that was sort of waiting for it. And that kick on the screen right there is what was setting up most of it. And he landed that kick a few times early in the first round. And you could see the bruising on Chokpreecha, and I was like, okay, he's got to rethink about how he's going to fight after this because that kick's obviously because Kongchai is taller as well. That kick's obviously making him able to rethink his entries, and that is why Kongchai was controlling the car crash. But it was a car crash nonetheless. It was like they were just going at it the whole time. But I think Kongchai was because he was initiating it. It kind of made the judges think, okay, this guy's actually taking the fight forward. But again, ever so slightly.
absolutely, BG. Earning his money there, giving you the X's and O's. But boys, we're gonna skate to catchweight bout now, where we saw Stephen Irvine defeat Denkiangkrai, and this was another fantastic fight, great back and forth. But Stephen Irvine looked good for me, bro. He looked very good. Babu, from your side, bro, what can you tell us here?
Something that when I rewatched this fight, something that stood out for me very much is one of the things that I think BG mentioned while we were watching the is it Thai Fight League or what the you were saying like a lot of Thai fighters throw kicks and that's like their jab and it's not like actually like their handwork and that's one of the things Stephen Irvine did amazing in this fight is let his hands go and catch the
Yeah.
kicks and then throw body shots and I think like that was the difference maker here like just he's not only he's like way of parrying that kicks that were coming in, but just catching it, getting the timing, and then holding, and then being able to land like two or three, getting off like decent shots. And I think at the end of the day, like Stephen Irvine looked like the better fighter just because of those like exchanges. Every time he like moved a bit forward, he was just landing like at the cleaner eye rate. And I think like on the other side, I think like he it's unfortunate that it's catchweight because we would want to see it in one of the divisions and we would want to see like what he does like when he cuts weight and stuff. But I think it's a good display at the end of the day. I'm I'm open to being a fan. You know what I mean? I'm not there yet. Like I'm like, oh, you intrigue me. I'll keep my eye out. But if you lose the next one, I'm off the bandwagon.
Such is the fan base, ladies and gentlemen. Fickle. So
Ew.
Stephen Irvine, we're keeping you on your toes here at CPS Reports, but of course, expecting great things from the young man. Is that a
Mhm.
fair point? Is that a fair comment, BG? Do you expect great things from Stephen Irvine?
I do actually, and I've watched him fight before in the One Championship, and I'm a fan of his style. He's only 24 years old. If there's one thing before I get into a little bit of my breakdown to it, or my recap, is I would like to request the One Championship to put up the numbers in fight while it's live, so we can kind of see what these guys are putting out, because just like the first fight, the amount of strikes that both these guys were throwing, it's like I couldn't even keep up anymore. How much they would go, how often they were just throwing at each other, and again, fantastic co-main event. Another thing also about Stephen Irvine is he's got Nico Carrillo in his corner, and if you don't know, Nico Carrillo's fighting Super League for the title next. So that speaks volume, and Nico Carrillo is an absolute tank at the moment. I agree with Babu. I wish it was in a division where they could maybe fight either bantam or flyweight, because that's basically they're in the middle of those two divisions right now. So hopefully that either one of these guys can pick a division and get going at it. Excuse me. But for this fight, I thought Stefan Irvine was doing exactly what he went out to do then, which is use the Western or European style boxing and just cut out the angles from the Thai fighters, so they can't really kick you as often. And it was working really, really well in the first round. But then in the second round, excuse me, what's this dude's name? Denkiangkrai in the second round, I think he revved it up quite significantly in terms of how often he was throwing that left kick to the body, and also left straight after the kick, because he was getting caught a lot. So when Irvine was catching his leg, he threw straight instead of just trying to get back, pull his leg back. He was throwing straight while the leg was getting caught. The Leon Edwards combo. And that meant that Irvine was actually losing the majority of that second round, and then the last minute of the second round, Irvine came back by using elbows to counter those straights, cut Denkriangkai open with his right eye. And then obviously in the third round, the guys were just swinging, but Irvine again was the one that was dominating those forward pressure moments with the boxing combinations. And I think it was a very well deserved win. And looking forward to seeing him in the future of the sport, dude, of this organization as well, because again, fighting with Nico Carrillo speaks volumes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one to look forward to there in the future, ladies and gentlemen. But let us know in the comments your thoughts on Stephen Irvine's performance last night. Any final thoughts on this one, boys?
Um,
Man,
I'm
it's a
keen to
good
see who
fight.
they're gonna. Yeah, it was a fantastic fight. I'm keen to see who Irvine gets next, because that's on a 3-fight winning streak now. So he's climbing the ranks really well. I think if he can get a fight that way, he's a solidified division. That's his next best move.
Fair play, fair play. All right, boys. Then we are going to skate to a catchweight division now, where we saw Singdomthong defeat Watcharaphon by first round KO, and this was quite devastating to say the least, boys. So
Yeah.
not much to talk about. It was quite short, but PG in that short time.
Yes.
What can you tell us here, bro?
So I didn't know there was actually a rematch. They fought before, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
Watcharaphon got the dub on the first one. Coming into this fight, I thought Babu and I were talking about it while the fight was live, and then Babu still said Watcharaphon's going to win. I was like, I don't know. It's got Singdom Tong is the one that's got the creative style. He's very, very active, and he can fight from both going forward and backwards, like I said in the preview. Early in the first round, he landed that left hook, which was the kill shot that happened also early in the round. Funny
Mm,
enough. We landed that same hook twice, and I think the first one happened very, very early. As the both guys entered, he landed it, and Watcharaphon was locked in already. And I think that was from that moment. He was fighting off the back foot. Watcharaphon was fighting off the back foot from there, and he was trying to get into it, but I think it was the couple of very hard right straights to the body that Singledong threw, and I think that set up his left hook for the kill shot basically, because then they reversed the positions and he threw that left hook, and beautiful, beautiful left hook. I mean, devastating is a nice way to describe it, because even the way Watcharaphon went down, I thought his arm was going to get dislocated, because it was the back of his head, and he was like going down. And I was like, dude, this guy's arm's coming out. But yeah, masterful performance from Singletong to get his revenge.
for sure, PG. Babu, from your side, bro.
Yo, bro, what a fight! I thought on the walkouts, I was like, oh, one shot upon looks like he's there. I know he's on like I think a two. He was in a 2-fight losing streak,
Mm,
and I thought like, oh, this man have the fire in his eyes. He's gonna get one back. But
mm,
from the first exchange, I think that's when
Yeah.
he threw the first left hook, and then he just stumbled, young two-stepper there, and then like BG said, once that body shot landed, it was like this fight is pretty much done.
Mm.
Um, and that's one thing I like about the One Championship when you watch it and you see like when they hurt an opponent, either fighter puts their foot on the gas, and it's not in a reckless abandonment way. It's
Mm.
in such a calculated manner that they look for the finish, and it's like this, like that you can see the intent, but it's not a
Mm.
reckless abandonment. Like I'm gonna get gassed end of the second. You seeing two fighters just lean on each other, but I think it was a entertaining fight for the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely agree, guys. It
Yeah.
was like we said, very short, but yeah, great finish there from Singdomthong. And yeah, another fantastic night of Friday night fights from the One Championship show. Shout out to the One Championship once again, keeping the fans entertained on a Friday and for free, nonetheless. But okay, boys, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
I would like to just point out the name on the screen under Babu's name, Seiya Matsuda. That was the opening fight of the night. I remember myself and Babu were talking about it. There was an MMA bout. Babu, do you want to share why you are a fan of Seiya Matsuda?
Bro, this man is he's a vicious fighter. Like
Yeah,
I've watched MMA fighting. I would say like you know what? I've watched maybe more than 100 fights in my
yeah,
time, and like just seeing him come out like I was like, yo, this man he looks calm, chilled, relaxed. And as soon as the fight started, he was pedal to the middle. As
yeah.
soon as he got his opponent hurt, you could see like he was throwing stings that like were gonna put your opponent out. And I remember like one of the highlights that you can go check on Instagram when you go look up the card. It's Seiya Matsuda just kneeing his opponent like on the ground, and it's like you don't see that often, and he's throwing it like with such pace. And I was like, oh, how's this man gonna survive? And I thought the ref called it off, but the ref was like, end of the
Yeah.
round, buddy. And he came
Get
back
this.
out and he was still doing it. Like he gives off such a game character. Like if you
Yeah,
build a
yeah,
character, that's what it looked like. That's your default characters, anyway.
yeah.
Same me.
He's,
PG,
Oh,
anything you want to add here on Mr. Matsuda before we wrap up?
no, I agree with Babu because it's the first time I've seen him fight. I think he's quite entertaining to watch. He's a very much a go-getter, aggressive, throwing knees on the ground, like Babu said. The only thing I would probably put a not like a little bit of a not necessarily a notch, but what's the word? Another word for like saying something that's maybe not that great. Anyway, something I think he needs to work on is that killer instinct, or not killer instinct, that kill shot. He's gone to decision now in his two fights in the One Championship, and both of it looks very good. But he wasn't able to put his opponents away. He game plans really well, but I just want to see maybe a little bit more of the when you get to the ground, like maybe submit them because that knees were working, Babu, and he was open to snatch the neck up if he wanted to just switch. His opponent wasn't trying to defend those knees. I thought there was a gap for him to switch there and maybe grab the back, snatch up the neck, choke him out. Get a finish, you can get a bonus. Don't play it so
For
safe all the
sure.
time.
mm,
For sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did see that fight, let us know your thoughts on Seiya Matsuda. And yeah, if you have made it this far in the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you once again for your love and support, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful weekend from myself, BG, BB, and all of us here at CPS Reports. We are out of here. Goodbye, everybody.